Day 5, camp disaster. 8 in the morning, sun's just coming up. It is freezing out. Everything turned to ice. We had clear sky overnight. But look at the view. Don't know if you can get on it. There you go. Is that a view or what? Rogue! Sorry, I've got to shout at my dog. Or something to ruin it. As you can see, the dogs are roughing it. So it's got basic fire's about gone out. 9:15. Lazy dog number 1 and lazy dog number 2. You take it easy, you lot. You know what I mean? I don't want you overdoing it. It's freezing out there. And I've got breakfast on. Protein bars, coffee. Then I kicked Rebel out of my chair. Well, we finally got out. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and I thought we'd better get up. My sleep bag. Didn't want to. Look at that. Just, oh, it's under now, freezing. We're at minus 4.3, 4.4, 4.6. Oh, come on, stop doing that. But look at the views. 10 o'clock. My hands are going blue, by the way, doing this filming. I hope you appreciate it. But the temperature, if that's what it is now, think what it was last night, because it was a clear sky and the stars. And all the snow's gone rock hard. I don't know if you can hear it. I think you can see the frost on the snow. Yeah, look, I can actually, I'm walking on the soft snow. Woo! So, God knows what the temperature's got down to. Problem is we can't walk far because the snow drifts are so bad. I'm hoping that sun's going to creep over and melt the snow today a bit. I don't mind if it freezes in the morning because that'll make it easier getting out tomorrow. But I'd like it to drop a level, a few levels. You get what I mean, like a couple inches at least. Because I've still got to pull a trolley. And you know, I said, shame I didn't film it on the way up. I might be filming it on the way back. It might be an adventure trying to get out. Because we're basically cut off at the moment with the way the snow is. Here it don't look bad. Here you're thinking, oh, there's nothing. It's only about 4 or 5 inches there. That's true. We've been running around it. But out there, if it's like it tomorrow, I'll show you. It's near 2 foot. And if you've ever walked 2 or 3 miles, we've got to do 8. But if you walk 2 or 3 miles in 2 foot snow, it's not easy. My hands are absolutely going blue. Right, I've got to do chores. Just checking out everything. Been across this, look at this. Oh, lovely. Up to just above your ankles in freezing water before you even start. It just barely took my weight in places. This is like a little stream that runs down to the lock. I have to give you the name of the lock. I will put it on the screen. If you get the odd black thumb on the videos, don't panic. It's just me wearing my gloves and I've not realised my thumb is sticking out. So that's awesome. I know you've seen the same views over and over, but let's see if I can do this without giving you a black thumb. But that's where we went last time. We went into there. There's a lovely valley. But obviously it didn't look like that last time. Well, we're pretty cut off here. Yeah, you can do it. Like tomorrow we've got to do it. we're getting out tomorrow. But you won't want to do trudging along this 2 or 3 times through the week. It would be too much for you. I'm hoping that sun's going to creep over, which it is doing slowly. And this awesome view. I'm going to get some of my photos put on lovely big frames because it is just stunning. I don't know if there's any part of the loch that ain't frozen there. I would have liked to know what the temperatures dropped to last night, because if it feels like that this morning when I got up, you can only imagine what it was like overnight. I've done the dog chores to get their waste out of the way. I put it in one section away from the Bothy. I mean, the guy said you never get visitors in the winter, and I checked in the book and they've only had, pardon me, one in the last month, so I doubt if they'll get anyone out this time of year. So with all the fur and everything, it'll well decomposed. But I don't want it, just in case the guy that does the shooting comes up here, or somebody's guests. You know, when they're shooting, they might go in the Bothy to warm up. So I don't want them trudging in anything. That's what I'm trying to get them to do, burn some steam off. As long as they don't end up in water, which knowing them, they probably will. Stella's looking much better. Look, she's trying to join in. What it was with Stella, I mean, obviously a 12-year-old shouldn't be doing 27 miles. I would guess, to be honest, they all did a bit less than me, so because I told them to wait sometimes. So I'd say she's done 25 at least. I mean, what 12-year-old does 25 in these conditions? It was not planned, and I would never want to do it. We had no choice. Once we're committed, you're committed. You're in. To turn round would have been doing exactly the same distance back. Sorry about the noise. The children are being nuisance. You know, he's settled, she's settled. The one that just keeps looking out at the mountains and just wants to go out and play in the snow and ice is her. Even at 3 in the morning, she's looking out the window. She's got great ears as well. She obviously picked up some deer last night, and she started barking. I haven't seen no tracks though, so they didn't get that near. So yeah, I'm sorry this adventure isn't us going out a mountain. The plan was, I thought we'd get 2 or 3 inches of snow, and the plan was to take a hike up there. But all these areas now are avalanche risks. Look at that up there. Especially with the falling out, the snow, then the rain yesterday. All these ridges are avalanche risks. I mean, look at the overhang there. I'm surprised we haven't had any go. I don't know if you can see in the far distance. Whoops, sorry, you're going to get a thumb. Look at that overhang there. I think they're called cornices, don't they? Overhangs. A lot of people fall to death. Sadly, one did. One did the day I was Christmas Day, somewhere around there when I was up at near Bridge of Orkney. Someone lost his life at where was it? Oh dear, I think it was the main mountain. What is it? Ben whatever. Oh, the name's gone off me. But anyway, sadly one lost his life. They walked on the too near the edge of the cornice and they gave way. Can't think of the name's gone out of my head. You know the one I mean anyway. But yeah, it's like there. I'm surprised we haven't had no slides yet, but that could happen today if the sun starts hitting the sides. So to walk up there would be just stupid. But that was the plan. I was going to have this as a base, and I was going to take a nice little amble up and see how far we can get up there. But that's not going to happen. Right, more chores. pretty warm last night. This is all thawed out. Look at it, isn't it pretty? And there I am destroying it. So it just shows how it went mild, started thawing out, and then as the snow was sliding off the roof, as the temperatures dropped, it soon stopped. I don't think that sun's ever going to hit us. Maybe that's why we were so cold here. I'll just say. Sorry for a bit puffy. I'm sinking up to my knees. And it's even colder up here. The wind really picked up. I'd say it's -5, -6 here. Don't know what they're routing at. As long as it don't do them any harm, I don't mind. Wow. Woo! We want to come up about 100 metres. Right. It is crazy. It was -4 down there. It's got to be -5, -6 at least up there. Wow. Sinking up to your knees on the way up. Yeah, you'd have a joke getting up that. That looks small a bit on the screen. That's pretty big. Big enough for today, put it like that. Rogue scrounging some rubbish, I don't know. I give up with that. She's not right in the head. I've got to take some photos. Just taking a little trek, see what the track's like. Pretty deep at the moment. Trying to make out the best plan of action, what to go across, what not to, on the way out. So it's basically a recce just to, we're going to get to the river. I'm hoping somewhere on the other side the bloke's been doing the culling of the deer. He says he's doing it every day. The weather's been good today. So I'm hoping he's been up and down in the Land Rover, and that'll give us somewhere to walk along. And if I have spikes on, I've got grip. Certain sections here of the loch not quite frozen, just about, but not quite. But you could be in the Arctic here. You wouldn't know any difference if you're in Sweden, Norway. Anywhere really, except maybe the difference of the terrain. There again, Norway's quite mountainous, isn't it? You can just probably make out the Bothy dead centre in a minute. We're not getting no sunshine over there. I'll make sure they don't go on the ice. I don't know how thick that is. Yeah, we're literally cut off here, you know. Doubt if you're hearing a word I'm saying. The drifts are terrible. Some areas, nice little hideaway here. I mean, look at that. my poles. The drift is nearly as tall as my pole. I know that's down to wind, but you've got to have a lot of snow. It's all been blown off the hill here. And that's the way I'm looking at the moment, for trying to find a route that's across the heather, or whatever it is, grass, because the track has got all the snow. Right, the river is just, I don't want to go any further because there's deer on the top and there's deer in front of us. I don't know, you won't make them out, hold on. And you say, why does he care about that? I don't know if you can see them in this light. We're still in the shadow of the mountain. But anyway, there's deer in front of us and there's deer on the rogue behind. I promised the guy, he helped us out moving the gear, and I promised I wouldn't scare his deer, you know, because he's doing the culling, he's doing the shooting, and I know they do it for profit, but they also have to do it because the numbers are getting out of hand. When I first came to the Highlands, I was all emotional. I kind of thought, oh, poor little deer. But when you see the damage they do and the numbers there are, they have to cull them. And if it brings in tourism, provides, you know, financial gain for some, that benefits the economy for Scotland, and also for tourism, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the hides are used. I mean, there's some deer over there on the slopes, they've seen us. Rogue behind, pull back. We'll go back a bit, the river's just around there, that's as far as I'm going. As I said, I promised him I wouldn't scare his deer because he's culling them, and I suppose he gets people pay him to do the shooting, and you know, it's part of the hunting. Sorry, you're getting the windows now. So, as I say, I was all emotional at the beginning, thinking, oh, poor little deer. But you can't be like that when you see the damage you do to the forest. Otherwise there'll be no forest left. They used to have natural predators like lynx, even wolves many years ago. Now they've got a natural predator. Man has to shoot them to be take the place of the predator. And it doesn't matter how many times the shooting's not working, believe it or not, from what I'm reading and hearing. And I'm not just, hey, behave, you say. I'm not just hearing from you know, the people that work at the States, but also, you know, the people on the side of wildlife things and all that. They say the shooting is not actually working. It's not bringing the numbers down enough. So you're going to a lot of areas where there's fencing now, and they're trying to put electrified fencing, but that's the last thing you want to see, areas where there's electrified fencing around, because that's going to affect hill walkers, hikers, wild campers and all that, isn't it? As well as tourists and people like that. So yeah, you can't get emotional when it comes to deer culling. They look pretty, they look cute, and you think, oh, what beautiful animals, but they have to be culled, and they cull them at different times of the year. It's probably something to do with their breeding cycles. They normally cull the stags earlier, and then they cull the hinds. I was calling them does the other day to the guy. They're called hinds, aren't they, the females? Between now and February, the end of February, somewhere around that, just to bring the numbers down. And as I say, if they get financial gain out of it, who cares? I mean, they're the poor so-and-sos that are going out in this weather. I mean, would you like to be climbing out here and shooting a deer and then go and get it? They're not exactly that light, are they, to pick up? And yeah, they have track vehicles. I was watching them the other day. They park a track vehicle out on the top, and then they shoot, and then they have to go down and get it. They can't. Some track vehicles can't get down these slopes. It looks easy, but it's not as easy as, you know, you think. Try walking on it. So as I said I wouldn't scare his deer, and there's his deer, and they've been here the last few days, so I don't want to, if they see the dogs, pick the centre of the dogs and start running, they'll clear off somewhere else, and then he has to go try and find them. If I see him, I can tell him where they are. Hopefully they're not hanging around here tomorrow, and hopefully we don't scare them off. But if he came up, but I doubt he will today, because these conditions are still bad. That so-called thaw they were telling us was going to happen, it hasn't happened. Here you lot, this way, and stop fighting while I'm chatting. Right, we're going back to the Bothy now. I've seen what I want to see, and I'm just checking the train. It might be easier. There is a cross-country route just before you go down to the river. There's a cross-country route that I checked out last year, and it works. It takes us to a bridge, and it might be better to do that tomorrow, because it seems the snow is blown off the hills and the open land and landed on the track, believe it or not. Unbelievable, isn't it? Right, back to the Bothy. Just like that, the wind's picked up. It's gone a bit wild. Thankfully clear skies, but it's bitter. It's going to be another cold one if it stays like this. I doubt if you can hear me due to the wind noise. How wild do you want it? If we make it back to the car, it'll be one to remember for sure. Beautiful but dangerous. If you slip over here on the ice, like see that ice there down there where they are, you're messed. You're in big problems. So hence why you got to be careful when you're trekking down. Not far to the Bothy, take it nice and steady. Whoever wants to have a wriggle, why not, eh? Why not? Whoops. Right, let's get down to this Bothy before we freeze to death. Just got back. Wind's picked up. And every now and then, like you see in there, it really dips. Cold. Woo! All crashed out. 5 o'clock. It's amazing. You get up at 10, put on your day gear. By 4:30, you're getting out your day gear, ready for your night gear. Unbelievable. How short the days are. Lie down, Stella. Lie down. I keep covering these dogs over. I'm like Mother Hubbard. Is that the word? Oh dear. I mean, it's nice and warm now. That fire's going lovely. I'm now burning my one because I've gone through the one I found. That was very smoky, the house coal. You could actually taste it in your mouth, you know, because it was giving out a smell. It was coal, it wasn't charcoal. But I'm sitting here in my Bothy slippers, Bothy down trousers. These are rab trousers, down trousers. They've been absolutely brilliant. I tell you, worth every penny. I don't know if you've been seeing, I don't know if it's shown it. I've been using a TBS mug on the hook over the fire rather than gas most of the time. And I tell you, that's been a godsend as well. Just to get on with your jobs whilst the water's boiling away rather than standing there keeping an eye on the gas. Other things, my mountain equipment Changabang jacket, absolutely brilliant in this weather. You know, the lower boots I was using, GTX, I can't remember, Pro Extreme, something like that. Brilliant boots. Stella's stiff, she always is when she stops. Where are you going, Stella? Hold on, I've got to sort her out. Sorry about that. I'll sort them out. You know what they're like little babies. I don't mean that literally, I mean sometimes they get on my nerves like little babies. Where was I? Yeah. All the gear that I've used, TBS mug, Changabang jacket, these Outkit down trousers. I can't remember what the sleeping bag is. It is a Rab again. I think it's a helium, I think, something like that. It's a winter one anyway, really low down. That's been brilliant. I've got to say, that Rab Alpine bivy bag that I've been putting everything in, my bag, me, I've sometimes wore all this gear and everything in. I've not sweated. You hear all these horror stories of bivy bags sweating. And the temperature in here, the first night was like -1. So, you know, if it was going to be any sweat, it would admit all the body heat I was giving off. But no. Trying to think other things. Say the barrow's done a brilliant job. The boots have been brilliant. And basically all the kit has been working top notch. I can't think of anything that's let me down. Oh, I got fire lighters from a pound shop. The ones I got last time were from a pound shop, which if you're not from the UK, is like a really discount-y place that sells odds and bods, and you know what I mean? It tries to sell it at the lowest price possible, but sometimes they're not as cheap as you think. But anyway, I bought them from this pound shop, and I think it was Poundland, and they're useless, absolutely useless. Yeah, the ones I used at Christmas were from a pound shop, and they were the best ones I ever used, but that was a different shop. So that's kit sorted out. I stopped here. Counting tomorrow morning will be 6 days, when I only planned for 4. So, but not eating that first day and not using the dog rations and all that helped out, because it gave us an extra day to kind of recoup and get ready. Now, as for going out tomorrow, unless we have some major weather difference or change, if it's icy, frosty and still snowy, it's going to be a so-and-so getting out. Once I get past the rivers, the first crossing and the second crossing, the guy should be shooting on the other side. And if he has, he's been up and down doing in his Land Rover or even in the track vehicle. At least near the lodges, he'll be out and about. So once I get on that kind of area where he's been, I can use traction, you know what I mean, where he's run the road and the track down. But all this from here to probably just past the river crossings is all classes like virgin snow, except for the bit we walked up, which has not made much difference. Now the other option is I can cross overland. When I'm in overland, it's only going across this side of the bank. Rather than going across the rivers, you stay on the right hand side of the bank and aim for a bridge. Now that's really looking good at the moment, because all the snow seems to have blown off the grassland or the moorland and ended up on this track or in that area, and it's kind of dumped in big drifts. So, and it's not too bumpy. It's bumpy, but not too bumpy. So it might be an option. The only negative to that is if there's any deep holes, which there normally is in them kind of moorland grassland, then I could end up putting my foot in a massive great hole, which wouldn't be a good idea. Will you two stop growling at each other? See what I mean about little babies or kids? Rogue, leave her alone. What's she doing? Niggling her, and she'll end up snapping at her. Then she'll snap, Rebel will start, and I'll end up with 3 dogs. Look, see what I mean? She deserves a good snap on the nose by another dog. It'll teach her a lesson. She can be annoying at times. But, so I've had a great time. I've had good rest, and it was nice not running around doing too much. But tomorrow is going to be murder. So when I do set off tomorrow, I won't video from here to the river crossing, because you've seen that today where I've been walking. But I will pick it up either at the river crossings if we're going across water, or if we're going over land, I'll show you the route I'm taking and the conditions. So basically, good night's sleep hopefully tonight. Up early-ish tomorrow. It doesn't matter if I get out of 10, I get out of 9, get out of 7. It ain't going to make no difference unless the weather's going crazy outside or something like that. I doubt we'll get any more snow. We could get rain, or I'm guessing it's going to be similar to today. Just, freezing temperatures and strong wind. If the wind's behind us, which it was today going out, then that would be good. but if it's blown in the face, it changes everything again. Now the plan is, if I do get across and it turns into a murder slog, then I'll stop at the schoolhouse that tomorrow night and just settle down, because the car's 500 metres away from the schoolhouse, up further up the road where it's barriered off and it's parked in a quarry. And I've got food in the car, I've got extra gear in the car and all that, so if I need anything desperate, I can just go to the car and pick anything up. That would mean then Sunday, all I have to do is walk 500 metres, take my time getting up, walk 500 metres, pack all the gear away, and then set off on the journey after a good night's sleep. That might be the best option, to be honest, unless we're lucky tomorrow. But I don't think luck's on our side at the moment on this trip, with weather-wise. So, enough rambling, mumbling, and kind of just making time up or whatever on my side here. As I say, I hope you enjoyed the travels. I know it's different. This one was not planned to be like this. This one was planned to be a bit of adventures in between during the days, but you cannot predict for weather forecasters. You know, the prediction was 2-3 inches lower down, 3 to 4 higher up, higher areas. By Thursday, it was going to be falling out. I think Wednesday was going to be clear. Thursday was going to be raining, and today was going to be mild and, you know, off and on rain bits, and, you know, like you normally get in Scotland. What we've had today is just frosty weather again. So it feels like the cold weather's coming back down, but I don't think we're going to get any wintry showers. The sky looks really clear, so I don't know. I haven't had any update on the weather forecast, so I can't tell. But anyway, hope you enjoyed travels. I hope you enjoyed this. I do appreciate it. You know, I like the comments. I try to make something different, and I know it's not your normal YouTube videos, but I'm hoping it helps people in the future. You know, people might want to do things like this. I would advise you not to do this one in the winter, though. It can be a hard slog. Right, I'll see you in the morning. For now, it's a restful evening in front of my lovely fire. That's going like a good one. And it's quite warm in here, I've got to be honest. Right, see you tomorrow.